right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us again for another episode of Forza Barca podcast. We've been out for a while, but we're back. We're going to try to do this more often and try to get just talk about the games, talk about the team and how we're doing. But today we're the game or the match versus Atletico Madrid just finished, so we're still fresh, hot out of the oven. We're going to talk about this with fresh memories and we'll dive into it. But first of all, let's welcome our dear friend and my co-host, Mr. Mew, Mr. Mo, the Mew in the Mo You Mew crew. Uh, Tell us a little bit how you been and what do you think? What do you think about today's game overall? And then we'll dive in deep uh, into the statistics and everything.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. Glad to be talking to you, and doing this more often is exactly what we are planning to do, and hopefully we are able to deliver more content for you. Well, let's just start with the lineups. I think we should start with the lineups and then from there go to the first 30 minutes because I think the first 30 minutes were crucial for our victory today.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, well, we had in Ter Stegen in goal. In the back, we had Balde, Christensen, Araujo, and Conde. In the midfield, surprisingly, um, we had basically Pedri was more of a winger in the lineup, but technically we had four midfielders with Pedri, Gavi, Frankie De Jong, and Busquets, and up front we had Ansu Fati and Dembele. So that was the lineup. And I think the if I may just start right up, I think the plan panned out because we crowded the midfield, just like
Yeah.
we talked beforehand. We said that we need to overcrowd the midfield and have the control over the game in the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the
Yeah.
first 30 minutes we did exactly that. Of course, we had, for whatever reason, those those guys slip and slided all over the
Everybody was
pitch.
slipping. Everybody
Uh,
was all over the place.
I, it was raining, but nonetheless, it was more so on our side than on Atletico's side. We
Yeah, it was strange.
uh, it was really strange. But I think the first 30 minutes. What's your take on first up the lineup and the first 30 minutes?
Right. So we talked before. We talked yesterday briefly about the match, and we talked about how Kunde will definitely get, and Araujo both definitely going to start this time around, and we talked about how Christensen is going to have a crucial role in stabilizing that defense, especially because Kunde is going to be on the right, so he's going to be more. He's not going to be a center back, so he's going to have we're gonna have to cover him when he goes up.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think the lineup was perfect for the match. The only thing that I didn't think was gonna happen was Ansu starting. I thought Farhan was going to start. That's the only thing that I surprised me a little bit, just because Atleti is very very physical. And Ansu, since he came back, and I think a lot of fans noticed this, is has been very careful about getting involved in physical challenges. He hasn't been
Mhm.
going all out like you'd say like Gavi or Pedri or Frankie De Jong when they're defending. He's been very careful
Right.
about. So I was kind of surprised by that. But and to be fair, we'll get to that. But other than that, I think the lineup lined up really well. I think we, like you said, overcrowded the midfield. We didn't let them play from the middle. We forced them to do some long passes and try to catch us on the break. But uh, it worked a couple times, especially with in Balde's spot, because Balde went up a few times and left that side with
Mhm.
the Griezmann
Mhm.
and Lorente to play in his side more. But overall, I think we really the players did exactly what Javi wanted them to do. It was basically overcrowd the midfield and try to move the ball around to try to find holes in their defense. And it was kind of interesting because we when we had the ball, we had three in the back, But we did when we didn't have the ball, we had four in the back, and I think I texted you this at halftime. The After the first 30 minutes, which was great, it started to they started to exploit that more. Atleti starts to exploit that more,
Mm,
and then that's
mm.
when we see in the second half the changes started to happen with the new subs that came in and everything else. But what did you think about the first 30 minutes? Because I know we were talking throughout the game, and those 30 minutes we were playing really good. We were moving the ball
Yeah,
around really well. Pedri lost a couple of the balls, but for the majority of the time, and he could excuse it just because of the how the pitch was really wet. So if he passed it, sometimes it doesn't even reach. So took him a few times to get that down, but right after that, like you see that he was in it and dribbling everybody and try to find those passes to go through to Atleti's defenders.
yeah,
What did you
yeah,
think about it?
and he was crucial for the goal, which
Right,
we
for the goal.
we
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
um, the first 30 minutes were absolute. I think every in Simeone and Xavi had a match plan, and I think Simeone um, did a mistake with having Griezmann and Joao Felix up front because we had like Christensen, Araujo, and Kunde. They are not like the fastest central backs, or in
Yep.
that case, a right back, but they are fast. They are not. You will not sprint behind them with ease. It's not going to be like
Right.
back then when Pique's prime was over, then we had those moments where he was like basically just outsprinted. But this time we had a lot of physical guys that are also fast, and he miscalculated the situation because they basically were playing on the counterattack. But we didn't
Right.
let them in the first 30 minutes because we controlled the ball, we controlled the midfield, we controlled basically the whole match plan was to control the pitch, control the ball, control the opponent, and that's exactly what we did. And thank God, we had our chances in those 30 minutes. We had more chances, and we could have gone up like easily 2-0 if Pedri just uh, put that in. I mean, why try to
Yeah.
lob it? Why try to? But
Yeah.
it is what it is. At the end of the day, those 30 minutes is exactly what especially if we have a opponent that is trying to stay deeper in their half and trying to defend like they had when they were defending like five guys at the back and three in the middle and two up front, and it wasn't working for them. And after that, when they started, uh, the right back and the left back started to press more high, we had our problems, our fair share of problems. But
Yeah.
that's how football is. We exploited their defensive tactical um, stance in the first 30 minutes, and after that, when they adjusted, we had our problems.
Yeah. And that's where the problem came. Once they started pressing us high, so I know that in the first 30 minutes, and that's we expected that, right? Is Atleti will go back. They're not gonna go try
Mm,
to attack. They're not gonna press. They're gonna wait for us, and that's exactly what they did last year. They just sat back, and then once they left, we lost the ball. They countered and they scored multiple two times, and that's all they needed them to do. Just two times successfully, and they stayed back. They tried to do this exact same thing in the beginning of the game today. It just didn't work. We have better defense this time around. Like you said, even let's say Kunde is not fast. Sure, let's say he's not as fast as you say Lorente or whatever.
mm,
As soon as they try to pass Kunde, Araujo is going to be right there.
yeah.
And Araujo is really really fast, one of the fastest center backs in the world. So you can't. We didn't have that depth last year. We had Dest, even though fast does not is not positionally does not position himself well in defense. It does not transition well when we're defending from last year.
Mm,
But this year, defensively, we transition well. The problem that we had after the 30 minutes when they started pressing, when we have the ball, the transition from the 4-4-2 uh, 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 did not did not happen when we tried to transition to offensively to have three at the back and move everybody forward was too slow. And then once that started happening, the defenders didn't know who to pass to. And once
mm,
the midfielders got it, they didn't know who to pass to. So we had a lot of balls missing, a lot of passes missing because they didn't know who to pass to. It was just it's something that definitely needs to be worked on, right? But it's something that I don't think Simeone expected either for us to be this careless, this uh, uh, I wouldn't say careless, but fragile as far for the transition. And once that
mm,
started happening, they started exploiting it more. They pressed more, and they won the ball back multiple times throughout the end of the first half, and then the first 10 minutes of the second half. And I think, and we talked about this, that we needed to change. And once that change came after the in the beginning of the second half, we started to see that. We started to get another shape, keep that four at the back instead of having the three when we had the ball, and we started to see more balance as far as the midfield and try to control better as far as the midfield goes. But we still had a lot of issues when we lost the ball.
mm. Well, I think and the term careless describes it rather well. I don't think. I mean, you said careless and try to find better words, but I think it's careless behavior, a little bit of reckless behavior, because
Yeah,
sometimes we could have um, tried to calm down the game in some moments just by pure ball possession, and we didn't do that. We were careless with the ball.
yeah,
We Our positioning wasn't as soon as they pressed higher. Our positioning was not up to task. We had a lot of misplaced passes, a lot of needless and useless dribblings in the midfield from our
yeah,
midfielders,
yeah.
and some guys group themselves in. I think everybody is bringing some sort of expertise to the table when we talk about this. We need to talk about Gavi just absolutely being a fighter and
Yeah,
fighting for every ball. It's not always useful, not against any and every team, but in this case, especially
against
against
Atleti.
Atletico, we need
Yeah,
somebody like this. We just simply need somebody like this. And
right.
we had a fantastic 30 minutes, and after that, somebody somehow we lost the track. A lot of misplaced balls from front to back. I mean, even Ter Stegen, some of these
Yeah,
balls, Jesus Christ.
yeah, it was playing with fire in
Nope.
multiple instances there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There was. I mean, playing in Atleti's field is not easy. Like we knew that going into it, that it's
Yeah.
gonna be really difficult to win. And any team that goes there, they have a really hard time winning. Doesn't matter. Even in Champions League, when City goes or whatever, they have a really hard time winning. So we knew that ahead of it, and having not having Lewandowski in there to be the anchor for us in the front was going to be really difficult to try to replace. So
But I
so
think
with that
those
said,
30 minutes, those first 30
we
minutes,
showed that we could do it.
yeah,
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 we
yeah.
can play without him. We can play
Right,
without him. We can play without a nine. I mean, a
right.
striker, a real striker. I mean, we had the option to put in Memphis there, and he didn't
Yeah,
do it. And I think it was the right decision, because as soon as we play this type of style, you have like someone like Savic and someone like Jimenez, who are absolutely physical players. They are going to demolish somebody like Memphis. He had no chance. We can
yeah.
cross the ball many times. He won't have a chance. And I think it was the right thing to have a lot of nimble and technical, absolutely fantastic players who can dribble, who can take the ball, who can pass the ball, and just trying to play the Barca way and score that way. And that's exactly what happened. A
That's
little
how we
bit of,
scored.
yeah, That's a
Yeah.
little bit of physicality from Gavi there, but it was all in and then yeah,
That
it
dude,
was a
I don't
nice
even know where he
goal.
gets that. I don't know where he gets that strength from, man. I don't
Yeah,
understand. He's a small motherfucker and he's just
yeah,
pushing everybody around.
a-
It's awesome to
absolutely
watch.
amazing.
It's just
Yeah,
awesome to see. It's like the young Gattuso
definitely,
for us.
most
You know,
definitely.
it's
And I think that's exactly what we needed. We needed different profiles for in our midfield. And I
yeah,
think for the majority of the time we should play with Gavi, Pedri, and Frankie De Jong. I don't think Busquets is adding a lot these days. I
right.
know he's a
No,
legend,
I
and
was
I know a lot.
expecting him. I was expecting him to get out in the beginning of the second half because as good as he is when he has the ball, the problem is when there's nobody to pass to, when we're having a hard time transitioning, he loses the ball quick.
Mm,
And once he does, and we're still trying to build the attack, and we lose
mm,
the ball right then. That's how we got scored on multiple times this season. So I
exactly.
was expecting him to get out and have Kessie come in and have De Jong play there, and then have Kessie helping him, and have Gavi and Pedre uh, uh, dictating the play there. But from what it looks like, but I don't know if it was a strictly tactical decision, or it was thinking more of we need to get fresh legs and whoever looks tired the most out, and then and then patch the holes in, especially in the last 30 minutes. Yeah, it kind of worried me a little to have him still there,
I
because
mean, at the
because
end,
he loses the ball a lot.
he took him off. So
He took him, yeah, the last
mm,
10 minutes, I think, or
yeah,
10 minutes, I think, when Rafinha came in. But yeah, it was kind of playing with fire there, as far as every time he has the ball, man. And I'm sure I'm not alone, and you're not alone in this. Every Barca fan
mm.
holds on to their balls once just when he has the fucking ball, just in case this motherfucker tries to dribble. And he does those small dribbles that used to work really well when he was
Now sometimes they
faster and
work.
quicker.
Yeah, sometimes they work. They
Yeah,
work
but
when
like,
when he's one on one. But um, the
right,
um, the the opponent, they know they can prepare pressure on him, double him, and then you have
yeah,
no chance. Literally no chance,
yeah,
because even if the one attacking you and being close to you doesn't get the ball, you don't see
the
the
other one
other
will.
guy coming.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so, and it's going to be always um, really, really nerve wracking watching him dribble in the midfield or in our half. It's always going to be nerve wracking, and I think it's not worth it in some games. This time it panned out, and
yeah,
it's okay. But once again, like you said, it's not going to be easy to play at their field with their fans. It's always a difficult ground to
yeah,
win, and at the end of the day, I think let's just quickly go over that goal. I mean,
yeah. That
absolutely
goal was
masterclass. Yeah,
great. Yeah,
absolutely masterclass by Pedri. And if you especially in the second half, Busquets had a similar situation where he got the ball in the midfield, right in the midfield, and there were like nobody around him.
yeah,
Nobody around him. And that's exactly what Pedri had. I mean, somebody got closer to him and he just sprinted like 10 meters and got the ball to the next to Gavi with a fantastic dribble, fantastic pass, absolutely amazing. And then Dembele puts it in, beautiful.
yeah.
And
We had a similar one right before that too, and if you remember, and then Dembele tried to dribble instead of shoot it, which is understand. In the replay, you'd see in real time,
yeah,
you'll be like,
I know,
Dembele,
but
just fucking shoot, just
yeah,
fucking. But in
and
the
we
replay,
yeah,
it
you
was
see,
so close to him.
yeah,
It was
he
so
didn't
close.
have
Yeah,
a lot of time.
space.
The
Yep, yep.
right thing was even now think even if he would have shot it, it
Would
would
have
have get
bounced.
yeah, it would have
Yeah,
got blocked. So because the pass from Gavi was not good, it was
yeah.
not
It
good
was,
because
and
bouncing and
and that could be. I mean, not
Yeah.
going to get an excuse, but we saw a lot of balls that passes that the ball will just not go as fast as you want it to go, and that could be
Mhm.
part of the reason why because of the pitch and how wet it was. If there's puddles on in the field, they might not go as the way you want it. But
Mhm.
still, the you have to calculate that into it. When you see it slowing down, you have to think on the spot and what to do. And not many players can do that, and not a lot of times it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. So he tried to fake it, which usually he's really good at, and it works like 90% of the time when he tries to fake it like that. Just
Mhm.
this time it didn't work. Which if it did, it would have been a great opportunity for him to score. But the second time around, it's almost exactly the same, right? Second
Yep.
time
Yep.
around,
Yep.
Pedri runs with the ball to Gavi, Gavi to Dembele, and Dembele
Same
shoots,
side.
goal.
Right, right. Same side. Beautiful, beautiful play. Really beautiful play. And I think in the first 30 minutes we could have gone 2 to 3-0 up if we
Yeah, we had
uh
multiple chances. Yeah,
yeah, if we had a little bit of luck, of course, and a little bit of confidence from Pedri on that one occasion. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, I'm going to be honest. It's all about the points, and like I said, usually we fumble this,
yeah,
and just in the last minute. I mean, it was really close. Thank God to
yeah,
Araujo.
yeah.
What a king!
Oh man, that chance! I
What
thought
a
it was going in. Like it was
Yep,
going in. So
yep.
I'm like, fuck, this scored, and then Araujo just, nope, not today.
And you could see the gestures and the way
Everybody
they
just like,
celebrated. Yeah,
yeah,
it's absolutely beautiful to watch. But that said, it's the same time around last year where we got a little bit hyped and we saw a lot of positive things. I mean,
yeah.
it wasn't the best game. Let's be honest here. We
No, no, we had a lot
Yeah,
of, we still
yeah,
have problems and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. We had problems, and it could have gone, especially in the second half.
right. We
It
had
could,
luck on our side in
yeah.
some of it. We
This
had,
guy, and so
uh
you need it. You need it.
you need
Yep,
that luck, of
yep.
course. Yeah,
You need it. And but once again, it's a difficult opponent, difficult ground to play and to get those 3 points. And I hope that they will continue on this track and have a good game against Getafe. I mean, the Supercopa is in the middle. We
Thursday. Yeah,
Yeah, we're going to play against Betis if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
Going to be a difficult game, but I think Madrid has a lot of really tough fixtures.
Yeah,
Really tough.
I think we can, if we stay focused. I really really think Madrid's gonna drop more points. We watched them like yesterday, and they were fucking, they were bad, bro. Like they were not good. So like if they continue at this, if we stay steady and stay focused and win a few more games, I guarantee you Madrid is dropping at least tying for at least one more game in the next few games. So yeah, so I think we can take the lead a little bit more if we stay more focused. But at the same time, Madrid, you never know, bro. If they play well in the Copa, they'll turn it
Mm,
around.
yeah.
So it's just a matter of we need to stay focused and more on winning our games and let them drop the points. That helps us. Just let them do their thing and focus on our thing.
Most
So
definitely. Now
yeah,
that we
this
are
should be
three
fun.
points up, most definitely. I think we should have done exactly that against Espanyol because that game
Yeah,
was just
we could have won that easily. Yeah,
easily,
yeah.
and we would have been 5 points up. But
And I
it is
think when
what it is.
that's the thing. As long as the team is learning from the experiences that we've been through, and you can see that we learned how to. I mean, you could say that the defense that we had against Espanyol is not the same as the defense we had today. You could say we had Alba in the left back, which is really unreliable defensively, versus Balde, who's always on point, who always pressures and tries to get the ball away from the winger as soon as possible. So all those things factors into our game today. But you could see like the players are learning from their experiences that we've had this season, and that puts into the characters of the players, right? And how
Mm,
they're gonna play for us in the next few months, how they're gonna play for us for the next few seasons. It gives them that experience that's needed for a young team because the majority of our players are young. the majority of our plays, is the first time they're playing together, especially the key players in defense. We have like Kunde, like Christensen, Balde, his first season as a starter. Up front, Dembele, his first time actually playing really well this season. As you could say, the end of last season too, but this season from the start, he's playing
Mm,
okay. Rafinha, Lewandowski. So Ansu first season actually starting to play again in comparison to the last two seasons combined. So it's a young team that still needs time to play together, to understand each other more, to know exactly when the other person is going to be, and things like that. So it's really encouraging signs, but we need to keep at it and stay focused the next few
absolutely.
months, because this next like 2 months is very crucial for us to have a really good season.
Absolutely agree. And it's going to, and like I said, they have some really difficult games. I think they play La Real, they play Villarreal again in the Copa
Copa.
del Rey. They have some really really difficult fixtures, and then after that, they are going to play Liverpool in the Champions League. It's not going to be easy, even though Liverpool is not good this season. It's always going to be, especially in two fixtures, it's going to be
Yeah.
a difficult away game.
Liverpool and CL is different, and the Champions League is different than Liverpool, and like they've been
Yeah,
playing really well
but I gotta
in
say
Champions
that
League.
Real Madrid always,
Our favorites.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, going
not
in,
not
I
not
think
even
Madrid
not
is
even
favorites.
favorites in terms of because of their recent wins, but when it for whatever reason Liverpool shits their pants once they're
It's
going
so weird, especially
against
against Madrid. Like I don't understand. Even last in the final, they were going in. I thought they were going to destroy them, man, because they looked so confident. They played really well. I'm
mm.
like, okay, well then yeah, this is going to be a great game, and they just fucking shit the bed. So it was disappointing to say the least.
Well, let's concentrate on ourselves and be,
Yeah, let's not talk about them. Let's talk
yeah,
about us.
let's concentrate on ourselves and our. I think I think we have in terms of depth, at least we have the better squad. We have
Yeah,
probably the best squad in La Liga.
yeah,
Not saying that because obviously we are Barcelona fans, but I think just from the point, not everyone is like world class, but we can compensate somebody just not playing. I mean,
yeah,
it's not like, of course, it's always going to be better if we have Lewandowski as an option or as a starter. It's always going to be better that way. But other than that, we have like amazing players at the back. I mean,
yeah.
Christians and Alonso, Araujo. I don't want to say Garcia, but Kunde, and we have really really good options. And
Yeah,
even though we can't count Garcia because we have players that can play in that position. If a central back is somehow injured or something like that, of course, somebody like Araujo is essential. I think he's essential to this season. If he stays fit, we
yeah,
are going to have, because he's good up front, like we saw in the Copa del Rey, and he's
yeah,
absolutely amazing in the back, like we saw in the Copa del Rey and today.
yeah. I mean, he's without him, and Kunde today did not have a great game, and we talked about this. He misplaced a lot
Yeah,
of balls. He was questionable going forward. He misplaced passes. He just questionable decisions as far as who to pass to, and I think a lot of it is due to the tactics that we play today, which is not something that we play every game. Having this trying to switch really fast from 3 to 4 and having try to counter or try to control the ball that way or control the game that way, it just did not work for him for some reason, and it was not a great game from his standards, because we know how well he can play. With that said, he's very crucial defensively. He made misplaced passes, but when it comes to defending, he was crucial. And when the ball gets crossed, he was one of the key players to get it out. Him and Araujo. So all those fumbles he did offensively, he recovered defensively. But yeah, him and Araujo, if they stay fit, they will have a way bigger chance to win La Liga than without them. So I really hope that they stay fit, stay committed to being healthy, and get us the wins that we need to. Him, Christensen too. He was amazing today. Some of
Yeah.
the interceptions he did, some of the tactical fouls he made, and especially in the second half, were
I think
beautiful. Were
Araujo and
just
Christensen
amazing.
should be our main central backs.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Um,
just really good.
yeah.
Araujo's a monster and really fast, and Christensen is very fucking smart with the ball. He knows how to position himself well. He knows
Mhm.
when to foul somebody in a tactical way, for tactical fouls. He knows when to intercept when there's going to be. So he's very smart defensively. So we were missing that a lot. We didn't have that last year or last few years. We didn't have somebody who's cunning that way like PK was when he was young.
Yeah.
It was
Piquet
similar
was
style to how
go.
Christensen
Piquet
was.
was, especially at the end. He was when he had a good game. He was basically just positioning. It was all positioning because
Right.
his body wasn't there
It was
anymore.
wasn't there anymore. Yeah.
Um, but when we talk about physicality, the great thing about this depth is that we can throw people in, even if we like this situation where we basically needed to park the bus because they were pressuring. The pressure was getting higher and higher. The intensity was getting higher and higher, and we could just take Balde out and put in Alonso, somebody who's able to defend more so
Yep.
than Balde because
And we
Balde.
saw that he did
Yeah,
really well defensively when he came
yeah.
on.
And Balde was when it came to the positioning, he was today. He was dreadful.
Was
I
not
gotta.
great. Yeah.
His positioning was off.
Yeah.
Other than that, he adds a lot to the squad because he
Of
has those
course. Yeah.
runs and he can go into a sprint duel, unlike Jordi Alba. Um, of course, Jordi Alba has that intelligence, and I don't know what it is with the Spanish squad, but as soon as he puts on that red shirt, he's like, I don't know, prime Jordi Alba.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
It's frustrating, really, because we know he can play. When he plays well, he's really, really, really good.
yeah.
But we don't see that very often. So
True.
we're not gonna just put him in there and gamble whether we're gonna get the really good Jordi
No,
Alba
no,
or
no,
somebody who
no.
doesn't
Of
care.
course not.
Yeah.
But we have options, and that's good.
Right.
Even if we start with Alba and he has a bad game, like in the first half, we can take him off and put in Balde. That's
Yep.
fucking great. And even and if we are up 2-0 or 3-0 or whatever, or even 1-0, and we need some defensive stability, we can put in Alonso. And that's
Yep.
options.
Yeah.
Having those options is something that we didn't have last season. And we've got to be honest,
Definitely.
and
Definitely.
it's going to be interesting because I think we can capitalize on the fixtures that our rivals have. But if we capitalize on it, we can do a great jump into the direction of winning La Liga. It's not. It's of course it's not certain, but I think the next 3 to 5 fixtures are going to be crucial.
Yeah. No, I agree with that 100%. We talked about this. Like we are we can win it. We have the players to win it this time around. So they have to stay focused. And we know that Xavi's not the greatest coach. We know he's young. We know he's learning on the job. Really, if you think about it, he hasn't really taken any beside said, which is like fucking Sunday league. Really, if you compare it to Europe, uh,
Mm.
he didn't really have that experience. So he's learning on the job, but he needs to learn quickly. There's no
Uh,
time to. We're not gonna. Barca does not have 3 years for you to learn. You have to learn within the year. So we see improvements tactically here and there, but we still see a lot of problems and issues when we are against the ropes. So I hope that he learns quicker how to deal with things like this, and we all want the best for Barca, right? We all want us to actually be able to
Absolutely.
compete. So so I'm holding. I'm hoping that it works out and we start another generation of amazing young players who can play really well for the next 6, 7, 10 years. And we have the core of the team. One in each really is really good. One in each spot. Each defense, midfield, and forwards. We have the capabilities to do that. So it's great signs, but let's see how we react in the next few weeks.
Absolutely. Yeah, well said, well put. I
If
hope
you
we
had to, if you
can.
had to say the best player of the match or man of the match,
That's
who I
that's
know they give it
difficult.
to Gavi, but who is your man of the match?
It's difficult. For me, it's also probably going to go to Gavi. He gave that assist. He was absolutely a pain in their asses, absolutely annoying the hell out
Yeah,
of everyone. And I think just being that determined, absolutely amazing player. I mean, he's useful at 99% of the games, but
yeah.
in that 0.1%, that 0.9%, that one game where he's not good. And by not good, I don't mean like he's not determined, he's not annoying, but we don't need that. We need more stability, not disruptive behavior like this, because this disruptive behavior absolutely it threw them off, because usually they play like that. They play like that,
Right,
not us.
right.
And
So they don't
Gabi
expect us to
that.
fuck around like
I'm
that.
just going into every fucking duel, whether it's aerial, whether it's on the ground. That motherfucker is like
I
the
love that moment where I think it was Dembele who got tripped right outside the box
yep.
and fell, but it wasn't he wasn't called the foul, and there were a couple other Atleti players right there trying to hit the ball and hitting Dembele, and he just came running and fucking jumped right in the middle. What the fuck? Start pushing everybody around.
Like a Duracell rabbit, man. Like a Duracell rabbit.
Yeah, yeah.
Guy
I
is
love that shit.
unstoppable.
I love that shit. I love that shit.
But I got something controversial.
Yeah.
Something really controversial. I think we would have benefited if we kept Dest just for this season.
I think so too.
Because
I
nobody's
really,
really playing on that position, like really playing on that position, and we didn't have like that. I mean, just take for example, if we are up like 1-0, 2-0, or
yeah.
in this case, we needed some defensive stability just to keep Kunde, Araujo, and Christensen on the field, and have somebody like Dest on the right hand side. It would have been a lot better, because somebody can make those sprints, and sometimes even. And I think he played a good World Cup as well.
He did play a good World Cup, but I don't know if you watched him with Milan. I've watched a few games of Milan this
No,
season.
I didn't.
Oh man, he's terrible, bro. He's very very bad, especially when he didn't play a lot just because he was that bad. And when
Mm.
he played, I didn't watch. I don't know if he started playing after the World Cup yet. I haven't seen that. I think they played Roma today. I didn't get to watch it. But in the beginning of the season or
But with
before
him,
the
you
World
can
Cup, he was
clearly see
terrible.
it's a confidence thing.
It is,
It's
yes.
not his talent. He's absolutely talented, but he
He's really talented. So it's just a matter of getting those. Someone inside. There's a lot of examples of players like that where you can see that potential that he
mm,
could be something really good. He could be a really good player, and it just never manifests to that or gets to that position where all right, we see it now. He's there. A lot of players have go through that, like Balotelli, like a lot of players where you can see that potential, but he just never reaches that height that everybody thinks he will get. So I hope that he turns it around and actually
hopeful.
becomes world class. Because if he does, we can still bring him back and play for us. But he has to work on it. He has to work harder than he has been, especially defensively, because he's just terrible defensively. in comparison, what we need, because we need somebody who can participate offensively but be as good defensively
But
like
if
Alves
we have
was.
Araujo and Kunde, they can cover up a lot of stuff. Like their defensive ability is absolutely amazing, especially
Yeah,
Kunde and
absolutely.
Araujo. And
Yeah.
another controversial thing is after watching the game Wolverhampton's against Liverpool, that fucking Adama Traore. I'm missing that guy. What?
That
He's an
fucking beast.
absolute beast. We
Yeah.
need to loan him again.
Let's
I
bring him in
want to
January
be,
again.
yeah, yeah. Why not, man? The dude is absolutely, and he's always fighting as well.
He's
He's never
always,
stopping.
always. Yeah.
We need somebody like that.
Yeah, I mean, I loved him. I wanted him to stay. It's just the Wolverhampton were asking too much, and it just was not did not make sense because we needed to let them force a lot of areas. But yeah, it's unfortunate that he couldn't stay. But I hope he comes back. I hope because I don't know how long he has left in his contract. I think maybe 2 years, maybe I don't remember how
Yeah, but
much
in the
is
summer it
left.
will come down. They cannot ask the same price in the
Right,
summer.
right.
So
We'll see what
hopefully,
happens.
dude is a
Yeah.
beast.
So my man of the match is Araujo. Just because
Fair
we
point.
needed him. Yeah, we needed him a
Yeah,
lot, and he delivered almost every time.
it was always
When we
going to be
were,
between those two,
yeah,
Araujo
I mean,
and
Gavi's amazing.
uh,
Gavi's, I would say neck and neck between them is the man of the match.
yeah,
But Araujo, those saves that he did for us, especially in the end, he did the same. He saved us again in the first half. I don't know if you remember that shot that was going in, and then he put his body and hit his arm, who was against his stomach, and went out. That was going toward the goal. Like it was curving toward the goal. So all those crucial interceptions that he's done really put us on top today because Atletico had a lot of chances to score.
they
So
did.
I'm glad. I'm so happy he's back. I'm so happy that he's back with the same intensity and the same quality that he's shown in the beginning of the season, and it's just
Absolutely.
amazing to watch him. Just amazing. So that's my man of the match. Um, so let's see if we can wrap it up with uh, um, give me one like the most positive thing about today's match, and then something that you don't want to see again happen in the next few matches. Just so we can wrap it up now.
The most positive thing were the first 30 minutes. And what I don't want to see ever happen again were the second half, the entire second half.
This is how your second half.
Nah, but on a serious note, I think the positives were our I want to say just mentality, just fighting, that fighting
Yeah,
spirit. That
that's what I was
fighting
gonna say.
spirit
Yeah,
was the most positive thing because it was not
yeah.
a beautiful game by
No,
any
we didn't need to. We didn't need
means.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
by any means of the by any stretch of the imagination, it was not a good game. So
no,
by us. And I think the most positive thing is absolutely this fighting mentality. What I don't want to see is us losing concentration again and again in
yeah,
a game that seems to be under control. There was no reason for us to get nervous whatsoever, even if they pressed higher. They were
yeah,
not, and I'm going to say this: Atletico were not threatening until they had like really players that could do something. I mean, they were
yeah,
clearly worse with Felice on the field.
yep,
Players like that don't function against us. They may function against other teams, but not against us because we like you cannot go past Araujo and past Kunde just like that. It's not going to
yeah.
happen. You can
They
dribble the
tried to do
ball.
that multiple
Yeah,
times and they
yeah,
got dispossessed. Like, what the fuck are
yeah.
you doing?
Well, I
But
gotta say that fucking Antoine Griezmann is playing like I don't know, like Michael Jordan's
he
prime.
fucking hates us,
He
man. Fuck.
was never playing like that. That guy was absolutely bullshit,
Yeah,
absolute
he was
trash.
just. I mean, he had to be honest. When he played for us, he had the same fighting mentality. Like he's still running the whole time. He
He
was
did,
defending when we
he
didn't have the
did.
ball.
But
So that's still there.
he was not with his heart in
I
Barcelona. And I'm
mean,
not
I mean, look at the chances he had today, and he didn't score. So it's not like he did. The reason why he stood out because they didn't have really any other player that stood out. That's why it
True,
feels like
true, but
he did
also I
amazing.
think it was a bit of a problem. Playing next to Messi, it was never going to work out. He's basically their Messi. He's the one who's able to score, able to provide good assists, able to control the game, give passes and control the game. He's basically their Messi. And
Yeah.
we had Messi and had him on the pitch. It was never going to work out. So it's not only on him, but nonetheless, I need to say something because that motherfucker is playing like I don't know.
No,
It was unbelievable
I agree
to
with you.
watch him absolutely fighting for every ball and trying
Yeah,
to fuck us over. That
yeah.
motherfucker, that sneaky motherfucker.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Yeah, my positive would be the same thing. The fighting spirits. We didn't even know we were against the ropes, especially in the last 15 minutes. Everybody was defending. Everybody was giving it their all. Nobody was just standing there. Everybody was trying their best to try to keep hold of our shape and try to get every ball that comes in out. So that was great to see in comparison with other seasons where we crumbled when we were under pressure in the last 10, 15 minutes. So that was awesome to see. And the bad thing is the misplaced passes that we've had. It's terrible from almost everybody that played had some kind of misplaced pass at some point, which is kind of strange for me because our strength lies on passing really well, and if we can't do that, then we lose our edge. We don't attack because we can't really bring the ball forward. We're not gonna play long balls as often because that's not our style. So yeah, it kind of hindered us a little bit and crippled us in the middle and the end of the game. But one thing I want to say though before we end this is you don't fucking pull a man's hair, bro. Ferran, bro, look at me. Look at me, Ferran. You don't pull a man's hair. What the fuck? Uh,
And honestly, what the fuck? I don't get it. I don't get it. I
yeah,
honestly
yeah,
don't get it. I don't get what he was doing there. I mean, it's not on Savage. I gotta be honest. I
No,
would have
we don't know. It could have been provoked. It could have
whatever the
been
case may be.
whatever
You
the case.
don't
Yeah, but you
pull the
don't pull a
hair
man's.
on. No, no, man. You don't do that. He deserved to be punched in the face.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
that's another thing. I don't get these why they are undisciplined. There is no discipline. They need to keep their mouth shut. I mean, the stuff with Rafinha, I didn't get that either. Why not go out? You are clearly was hit in the
holding your
head.
head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he was hit in the head. It's all fine. You
yeah,
got you
yeah.
got your free kick, and then go out. Like
It takes 2 seconds and you come back in. It's not like you're gonna stay there for 12 minutes. Yeah, it was strange to see that.
And
Like, just get out. Yeah.
in stark contrast to Mateo Laos, I think the ref was absolutely fine.
No, he was. When I said earlier that he lost the plot, it's just that he wasn't really
But it was a
standing up
red
to the
card.
to that shit. There was a lot of bullshit from us and from them, and he was just like cruising through it. And I think if he controlled the game from the beginning, like when somebody does shit, yell at that motherfucker. Yo, if you carded one person in the beginning and like set up that there's no bullshit, we're not bullshitting. I think that would have prevented some of the stuff that happened. But again, this is fucking Atletico that are really physical, and we gave it back to them when they came back. So like it's tough. It's a tough game to ref either way.
Hello,
But I could have been handled better
hello.
in that sense. As far as decision making go, he made every decision correctly. I'm not disagreeing with the
Okay,
decisions as far as yellow cards or red cards.
okay,
Ferran needed to go,
gotcha.
and Savage for reaction like that needed to go. So that's there's no questions about that. But and it wasn't like the decisions that he made affected the game, uh, affected the result of the game. It didn't, but it affected how the players reacted in the game. If it was handled in the beginning of the game, if we're like, yo, no
Okay,
bullshit, you do this shit, you get yellow cards. Shut the fuck up, don't talk to me. Those tones that if you set up in the beginning, it dictates how the game will go when it comes to challenges, and he let the players every time there's a foul or something that looked 50-50 and the crowd went up and the players went up. He didn't try to discipline the players for talking back to him. And we saw that if he did that, Rafinha wouldn't have done that because he know he get booked.
Yeah,
Other players would not have done
it's
the
a
same thing.
heated
So
game, you know. It's a heated game.
it's
Once
a
you
hit game,
start
of
with
course it is,
yeah,
of course.
but once you start with the yellow cards, you end up like Mateo Laos, and
No, it
that's
depends on
exactly
how
what.
you talk. Like I'm not saying just start handing out yellows, but
Yeah,
like
but that's
you have to
exactly what
set that
he
tone.
was trying to stay away from, because I think once you start with the yellow cards, another player comes in as soon as a foul or something like that happen, as soon as somebody is getting clipped or
There's
whatever.
ways to
Then,
there's ways to
then
do it. There's other refs do it. It's not something new when
I
you
know,
feel
but it is a heated game, so you need to keep it
right.
calm. You need to keep it cool, and I think more so than he lost the plot, I think the players lost the plot. There was no reason for this
Well, that's why you need
hostility at the
somebody who
end.
can. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the players, of course, they say if it's a heated game, that's more on the referee to try to try to
Fucking
balance things out.
pulling a man's hair. What the fuck?
No, that's a whole that's a whole discussion.
What the
It's like
actual fuck?
it's a bitch ass move, you know. Fucking pull him as we gotta talk, Fernando. We gotta talk about this shit.
The fuck?
Oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, that was very strange. I laughed so hard when I saw the replay. I'm like, God damn, Fernando, what are you doing? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. But
What
all right.
the
So
actual fuck?
let's anything you want to add? Anything you want to say before we wrap it up because it's fucking hilarious.
I think I think it's, of course, I'm happy about the 3 points. Happy about the fighting mentality. Let's see if we can keep this up, especially in the coming games. I don't care too much about the Super Copa, even if we
I
go
hope we
out.
just play. I'll play with this. I hope we play this the second team, or you know what I mean. Don't play the.
Yeah,
Don't
but
play
like I said,
everybody.
I don't care about the Super
I
Copa.
don't care either. I don't want us to get injured. You know what I mean? That's a
So
potentially
I only will care about it if we go into the final with Real Madrid. That's the only way
right,
I will care.
right.
Otherwise, I don't. I honestly do not care unless we humiliate ourselves again or something like that. I don't care. They can lose
Yeah.
1-0 to Betis. I don't care because I don't think we need that fucking cup. We need to be stay focused on
Stay
the league.
focused on the Liga. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's why I said that I hope they just put in like the. I hope it puts in the majority
And
of our players,
after that,
second players.
I think our focus should be wholly on Getafe.
Yeah.
And after that, of course, Girona. And if God is willing, then we have all our players back, including Lewandowski, and we have good chances to be very, very, very far ahead
Yeah.
after those
Let's hope, man.
2 games.
That's the hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, this was great. Thank you guys for listening, watching, whatever you guys doing, whatever you guys get your podcast. We appreciate it. I'm gonna try to do this more and dive into this more. We're trying to do different things on the YouTube channel, so we'll see more of that content there. But thank you so much, and we'll see you again at some point this week. Next week when we play against Betis, and we'll talk about that and try to dissect it and give our opinions. But thank you so much, and Forza Barca. Peace, motherfuckers.